Hi, let's make a Roblox type game in Scratch. This tutorial is not for beginners. The objective of this game is easy: to make money and play the lotto. The lotto is super easy. Just click the click me button and guess a number from 1 to 10. If you lose, a red screen appears and your Make Money account goes down by 1 point. If you win, a green screen appears and you gain a point. But to play the lotto, you must first make money. Now, in this tutorial, you can learn about the 3 different jobs and about how we play the lotto. Step 1. Let's create 3 different jobs with 3 different sprites. There's the pizza shop guy or gal. He chases brown bread, avoiding green bread, and his job is the easiest, so he only earns 1 point for every single piece of bread he catches. All right, the candy store guy or gal, he chases little colored hearts and avoids the dark hearts. Super simple. There he is in that fun little background. He goes up, down, all around, and he gets 2 points for everything that he catches. The flower shop guy, this is the hardest level. Watch out for the bad guy. There is a bad guy in this job, and he is coming after you with his ray gun. And the flower shop guy actually tries to catch the little beetle, and he wins 3 points when he does. All right, step 2. Let's go ahead and upload 3 different colored strips of running sprites. And then in step 3, we're going to make each sprite into its own costume. So let's go ahead and unpack that. So there are my 6 little flower shop guys, and they are all in a state of running. So I uploaded the entire strip of them, and now I'm just going to go ahead and put each of them in their own different costume. And then I'm going to go ahead and label them Run Right 1 through 6. So I'm just duplicating and copying, pasting here. So they're all in their own little costume. So there's Run Right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to add some code so it looks as if they are running. Okay, now let's go ahead and duplicate them and flip them horizontal and turn them to the left, and then label them Run Left 1 through 6. Easy, easy, easy. And with these sprites, we are going to be able to run not only right and left, but also up and down. Now go ahead and place all the rights together and all the lefts together. All right, step 4. Let's code the sprites to run. Let's stay with our red flower guy. So we're going to code them to run up, down, left, and right. And it's actually really simple. We're going to use blocks. So first, let's go ahead and code run left. All right, so choose make a block, and let's call it run left. Now, let's go ahead and choose switch costume to run left 1. Then change X by -10 because we're running to the left side of our screen. Then we're going to do wait 0.01 seconds. Then let's go ahead and add next costume. Now let's click that run block. Oops, can you see my mistake? Instead of run left, I have run right. So let's go ahead and switch that. And now he looks right. Yay! Or left. Ha ha ha. There he goes. Now, let's go ahead and add a key here, our left key. So when we type it on the keyboard, he actually runs to the left. So I dragged out my when green flag is clicked, then a forever loop, then an if then, and key when left arrow is pressed. Drag in our run left block. And let's add a couple more things. Set point direction in Can you guess it? Negative 90. So he points to the left. And let's set his rotation style for don't rotate, so he doesn't flip over. And let's try it out. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, now let's run right. So my block, let's name it run right and click OK. Now let's go ahead and repeat here. So switch costume to run right 1 and change X by 10. Let's grab a wait 0.01 seconds. And then let's add a next costume. Okay, if we click that run right block, he'll go ahead and he'll move and he'll run to the right. Perfect. Now let's add in our forever loop the same blocks, and let's just duplicate that left arrow and then change some of the parameters. So when the key right arrow is pressed, let's get rid of these guys. So we don't need that run block. Run left, we don't need that. Let's go ahead and grab our run right block. And then instead of point in direction, instead of point in direction negative 90, we point in direction 90. And then let's leave that don't rotate. And make sure that that block is right underneath the forever. Okay, so there is our running left and our running right. Perfect. Easy. All right, now let's run up and run down. So go ahead and click make a block, hit OK, and run up, and hit OK again. Now you know the drill. Switch costume. And this is going to be left. So run left. They're all left except the right. So left, up and down are all left costumes. All right, change Y by 10 because we're running up, which is in positive territory. Wait 0.01 seconds again, and then go ahead and grab that switch costume. Perfect. Now let's test it out. We can just go ahead and click. Let's go ahead and duplicate that left arrow and choose the up arrow key. Get rid of those blocks underneath. Choose the run up block. Perfect. Point in direction. Can you guess the direction we're going to point in? 180. And let's set a rotation style of all around. Now I think that there are different parameters that we can use. I'm wondering if any of you know how to run up and not use those. So just let me know in the comments. Okay, so our run up is working. Left, right, up. Can't go any further up. Awesome. Up, 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 up. I like how he drags his leg. Okay, let's go ahead and make down. So make a block, call it run down, hit OK. Let's go ahead and switch costume to left, and then change by -10. Good. And then let's add our wait, 0.01 seconds. And then let's add our next costume. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate that up. Let's make it a down. Take out that run up block. Put in our run or our run down block. And then point direction. Can you guess what this is going to be? 0. Yay! If you guessed 0, great job. And leave that rotation style. Okay, let's see if he can run down. Yay! He's running down. He's running up. Left, right. Up. Down. Left. Up. Awesome. All right, step 5. Let's go ahead and create the make money variable. Without money, we can't do anything. This is super easy. Just go into variables, click make a variable, and for the new variable name, go ahead and type make money, and then you can add a $sign or 2 and hit OK. All right, step 6, let's upload the bad guy that lives in the flower shop. This is the only store with a bad guy. He has a deadly ray gun. So I drew this little character with a top hat and a funny little gun, and there are 6 of him, 7 of him, and 7, and each in a different position. And so the same thing with the flower shop guy we're going to do with the bad guy, which is give him his own costume. And so the first picture of him, he's just sort of holding his ray gun, and the last picture of him, there's just a puff of smoke. So in like the 5th and 6th, the puffs of smoke get bigger. So it gives the illusion that he is shooting this crazy, I don't know, this crazy gas gun or something. So I'm just duplicating, and then I copy and paste, and each picture is a little bit different. So when we go ahead and code him, it's going to give the illusion of an animation of him actually moving and his gun going off. Now I can take that white off just by using my fill transparent, and I put him right in the middle of the screen. Almost done. Okay, perfect. Now make sure that you label all of them bad guy right, 1 through 7, and then let's go ahead and make, you guessed it, we're going to duplicate these and make him run to the left as well. All right, let's say we're done with that. Now let's step 7, code the bad guy. So we're in the bad guy, and when green flag is clicked, let's go X to 221 and Y to negative 129. So we're going to be moving the bad guy from right to left across the screen, and then he's going to jump into a random position. Now let's add a glide 1 second to X, same numbers, 221 and negative 129. Now let's pull in that forever loop. And let's go ahead and add a wait 0.1 second. We're going to make him a little faster than the red guy. And you can adjust this however you'd like and make it your own game. And then we go ahead and put in next costume, so he looks as if he is really running and shooting his ray gun. Now we're going to do change Y by, you guessed it, -5. And you can do -10, you can do -7 if you want him to move faster. This way he really looks at -5. You can really see each pose that we've drawn. All right, let's add a if-then statement. If X position is less than 170, negative 170, then go to random position. Awesome. So when you get to the end of the screen, then jump. Set X to 180, and let's try it out. There he goes. Awesome. Step 8. Let's go ahead and upload the beetle in the flower shop. Remember, this is the objective of the flower shop guy, is to catch the beetle and get 3 points. Stay away from the bad guy. If the bad guy touches him, it's minus 3 points. So I went into my upload a sprite. I'm going to go ahead in the search bar and type beetle. There's the beetle. Let's go ahead and first thing, let's make him a little smaller. He's a little too easy to catch that size. So I go ahead and I draw a box around his entire body and just drag him to a smaller size. Okay, perfect. Let's add some code. When green flag is clicked, show him, and then in a forever loop, wait point. Did I do 0.2 seconds? Yes, 0.2 seconds. And then hit the next costume. We're going to make a couple more costumes for him. And then wait 0.2 seconds again. And then go to random position. So he should be jumping all over the place, right? Now, let's make him look a little bit more like a real bug by having him jump and move in a different spot. So he actually does look like he's jumping, so he's not always just facing to the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and duplicate this beetle. So there's 4 different beetles, and each of them should be facing a different way. And you can use the flip horizontal, flip vertical. I just wanted to rotate because rotating is fun. Okay, let's try it out. Hit the green flag. Okay, now he looks more beetle-y because he's actually just sort of like jumping all over and moving. And it sort of looks cute. Okay, let's go back to the red flower guy code. And I added when green flag is clicked for ever loop. Let's go ahead and start adding some things to make this into like a real game. So inside the forever loop, let's do if-then statement. So if I am touching the bad guy, what happens? Then say, ouch. And let's do something with our money. Let's go ahead and change make money by -3 because it's a penalty. We don't want to get hit by the naughty bad guy with his ray gun. Okay, wait 0.1 second, then let's go ahead and add an if-then. And let's do the same thing for the beetle, except let's say got you, and let's add 3 points, and then we'll wait 0.1 again. So it's the exact same code for each the beetle and the bad guy, and it's going to be the same thing in all of the different jobs. We're going to say something, we're going to have a negative and positive, and we're going to have a little bit of a wait time. So this is actually, I'm trying to catch the beetle right now. It's actually pretty hard. Okay, I see my first mistake. I don't like that when I hit the beetle, it just keeps saying got you. So let's go ahead and change that. So instead of it just saying it, let's do a say for 2 seconds. All right, so let's get rid of the regular say, and we'll just have a say for 2 seconds. So got you for 2 seconds, and +3, and then wait 0.01 second. And let's go ahead and do the same thing for the bad guy. If the bad guy touches me, I'm going to say ouch for 2 seconds. I'm going to get a -3 in my money. And we're going to do a little wait on there too. Okay, this is actually really hard to catch him. Got you, yay! He's too fast. Okay, step 9, let's go ahead and add a really fun moving background for our flower shop just to make things a little bit more interesting when we work at the flower shop. So I downloaded this one green block Minecraft type backdrop, and I want to go ahead and upload it into a sprite. So it's not a backdrop, it's in a sprite. So sprite, sprite, sprite. There is my little green. It's going to be a backdrop, but it's in a sprite. I duplicated it, so I have 2, and they're going to layer over each other and constantly move. It's going to be super cool. It's going to make the flower shop an interesting place to work. All right, so let's go ahead and add a broadcast message. The broadcast message is going to be flowers. We're going to have one for every single job. So if I receive flowers, then I'm going to go backward 10 layers, because these are going to be more, these aren't sprites, these are going to be more of a backdrop. So when I receive my new message, I'm going to go backwards, and then let's go ahead and add a new variable, xposition1. So I'm just going to call that xpos1 and ypos1. So 2 new variables, x position 1 and y position 1. Easy. That's how we're going to tell this guy to start moving. Okay, now let's go ahead and set, you guessed it, x position 1 to 0, and y position 1 to 0. And then let's go ahead and go to x and y. And instead of typing anything in, let's go ahead and put our variables in there. Go to x position 1, y position 1, perfect. And then let's do a forever loop. And change x position 1 by -10. And next, go to x equals x position, y equals y position. So I've just made it move a little tiny bit. Then let's add an if then. And we'll add a less than operator. If x position 1 is less than -480, which is the width of our little screen, then what happens? So if it's less than our screen, then we set x position to our screen, 480. It'll make sense in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to take out that broadcast message right now just to try it, and I'll put in a green flag. So do you see in the upper left-hand corner our variables? They're going, X position is going up to 480 and then down to negative 480. And that's right. That's what we want. We have to layer it with something, and that's where we need that second sprite, that second green backdrop sprite. So let's go into the first sprite, because the second sprite has no code. Let's go into that first sprite, and let's go ahead and drag that code into the second. Now we're going to change the variables here. We're going to make two new variables in that second backdrop. X position 2 and Y position 2. So let's get rid of that green flag clicked. Let's go to variables, make a variable, X position 2 and Y position 2. So we have 4 new variables. Now go ahead and set that X position 2 and Y position 2 to 0. Now let's take out let's go ahead and pull this apart so I can take things out a little better. Oops. Let's take out go to X, Y, and let's do go to X position 2 and Y position 2. Oops. Okay, now change X position 2 by negative 10. And let's take out those position 1s and put in X position 2, Y position 2. All right, if X position 2 is less than negative 480, and let's go ahead and leave that as X position 1. Now let's try it out. So we need green flag clicked. Let's go back into that one, add green flag clicked, and go ahead and click our green flag. Perfect, it's running. All right, step 10, let's add a broadcast message. All right, so we are in our bad guy code, and I want to go ahead and say when he hears the message flowers, that's when he's going to go ahead and do his thing. So when I receive new message, flowers, hit OK. That's when his code is going to start running. And we're going to make this for anybody that works in the flower shop. So when I receive the message flowers, I'm going to show myself as the bad guy because that's where I work in the flower shop. All right, let's go to the beetle. And when I receive flowers, then my code starts. Now let's go to our red sprite guy in the flower shop, our flower guy. And let's take off those when green flag is clicked. And when I receive flowers, put those on top of our move tools, our move code. Okay, so we're in the bad guy sprite. Now let's go ahead and start making buttons to jump to the 3 different jobs that you can have. Okay, so you can work at the pizza shop, the flower shop, or the candy store. Let's do the pizza shop first. So we're going to make a little button. So I've downloaded a little pizza shop sign, and I uploaded it as a sprite. Now let's go ahead and make it look a little bit like a button, and we're going to stick it on the home page so our players can click it and say, hey, I want to work at the pizza shop. So I'm going to make it just the right size, put it over to the left-hand part of the screen, and then in text, red text, write pizza shop above it, and then go ahead and make a box around it in red. Again, so it looks like a button, and then we're just going to code it. There's the box, so that when our players press it, they go to a pizza store, and they see our little pizza guy, and they can play our little pizza bread catch game and win money to play the lotto. Okay, so we're in the pizza shop guy sprite, or we're in the pizza shop button sprite. When message received, we'll go ahead, when message received flowers, we're going to hide that button. So hiding different sprites is important in this game because we only want the sprites to show up in their specific jobs. So when green flag is clicked, we want to show the pizza shop button because it's going to be on the home page, and the home page is going to be when we click the green flag. And let's add a couple more little simple codes here. When this sprite is clicked, now let's go ahead, step 12, and make a pizza shop background. So when that sprite's clicked, it goes to this background. So when the sprite is clicked, let's do a new message that says pizza or pizza store or pizza shop, whatever you want. And let's upload a picture of the inside of like a Minecraft or a Roblox game of a pizza shop. So this one that I got is sort of red and black, and it has, I don't know if you can see it, but it has different, a menu on the wall, and it has sort of like a kitchen and some benches, and I like it because it's red. Now go ahead and fill up your entire backdrop with your picture. You can have any picture you like. You can even just have like a red background here. It doesn't have to be a shop background. I just like these little images. I think it's more fun. Okay, so I make sure that it fills the entire backdrop. Now I go back to my pizza store sprite. And remember, this is going to be a button that clicks us, and what we're going to say, that clicks us into the game, into the pizza shop. So we're going to say when this sprite is clicked, go ahead and go to that backdrop. Now, number 13, let's go ahead and make a home button. So let's go into the sprites and upload, and in the search bar, let's type home, and there's a little home button right there. And let's drag that to the top right of the screen. And it's a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. A little bigger. And it is always going to be seen because we're going to allow our players to always go back home. So let's go into the code. And when this sprite is clicked, same thing with the pizza store. Switch backdrop to home. So it's just a blank white screen, and there's our pizza shop button. Awesome. So those two things are on our home page. When the green flag is clicked, we're going to show our home button. Good. Okay, let's test it out. All right, let's go back to the flower shop guy. And let's add, when green flag is clicked, we're going to hide our flower shop guy because we don't want to see him until we're actually working in our flower shop. Okay, so let's go to the bad guy. And when green flag is clicked, let's hide the bad guy because we don't want to see him until we click into our flower shop. Oh, there's the beetle, still in the pizza shop, so let's hide him. So let's go into the beetle's code, and when green flag is clicked, hide. All right, so let's test it out. Go to home, go to pizza shop. Okay, back to home. Step 14, let's make the flower shop button. So same steps as the pizza store button. So upload sprite. And this I just have a nice little picture of flowers. And in purple or pink, some type of cute flower color, go ahead and add the text flower shop on top of it and then add a box around it so it looks like a little button. And then sort of make it the same size. Now let's make that flower shop button go to the moving background that we clicked, or that we created, I'm sorry. Okay, so we are in the moving background, the first sprite of the moving background. When I receive flowers, let's go ahead and change that broadcast message to when I receive flowers, we show this background. Good. When the backdrop switches to lottery, we're going to hide it. So basically, we're going to hide these until they're we have the flower shop. So when backdrop switches to home, hide. When backdrop switches to pizza shop, hide. When backdrop switches to Candyland, hide. We don't want to see any of these except in when somebody clicks the flowers, when somebody broadcasts flower or goes into the flower shop. So I'm just hiding this. Okay, so I go into my second green backdrop, which is a sprite. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag all these little hide codes into this second one as well. That's going to be a big part of this game, is just hiding the sprites until you go to their store. And you can do it a number of different ways. You don't have to just do what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay these out so I can see them neatly. Okay, let's go ahead and let's now make the candy store button. So same thing, I got a picture of the outside of a candy store called Sweetie's Candy Warehouse. It is a real place and it's awesome. I've been there in Cleveland. It is fantastic. It has tons and tons of different types of candy that I've never seen before. And I've seen a lot of candy. Okay, so I want to shrink this down to be sort of kind of the same size as the other stores. Now I'm going to go into the fire shop, or the the pizza shop, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop some of this code into my candy store button. Now let's go ahead and make the candy store backdrop. So when we actually click that little candy store button, where do we go? Well, I grabbed this fun little Minecraft type, ROBLOX type background. It's just tons of different colors. It reminds me of candy. So I went ahead and made that as a backdrop called Candyland. And I'm going to go ahead and just resize it and fill it all the way up so it takes up the entire screen of Candyland. Okay, now let's go back to the candy store button that we just created and say, when this sprite is clicked, broadcast Candyland, which is a new broadcast, and then go to the backdrop of Candyland. Now let's go into the bad guy and let's hide him from Candyland and basically anything else that is not the flower shop. So he shouldn't be seen in the lottery, the pizza store, the Candyland. All he should be seen is in the flower. All right, so step 18, let's make the candy store code. So let's go let's make the candy store guy. So the easiest thing to do is just duplicate the flower store guy and then change his colors. So there's our flower shop guy in red. Now we're going to change him to wearing all purple and having a yellow hair and beard. And sometimes I have to redraw the beard and the hair a little bit because I get too happy with the colors. Okay, looking good. All right, where is this? Okay, I want to recolor all of these. So I pick a nice purple, and then I use my eyedropper. I can pick that yellow and just recolor his beard and his hair. Then use the eyedropper and grab that same purple and recolor his beard and his hair. No problem. And I like to do this because I like to color. And again, sometimes I have to redraw the outline a little bit. But it does not take long. And then that way I have everybody looking the same. That's why I like to use the same sprites. And I like to use the same code. All right, step 19, code the candy store guy. So he's going to have the exact same code as the flower shop guy. So let's make sure he's running right, right, right. Now he's running left, 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 left. Awesome. Now let's go into his code and make sure that his costumes are all correct. So they say purple right and purple left. Just check all of his codes. Now, when we receive the broadcast message Candyland, not flowers, because we're now in the candy store, and make sure that his run codes are correct. Now, when again, switch the broadcast message on this, and then when he's touching, we haven't made anything for him to use as his earning money in his store. So I'm just going to leave some of these just as placeholders, but we're going to end up changing them. So it's changed by 2 and -2. We can change that now. And let's just get rid of those says. All right, so our purple guy, our purple sprite, is working really nicely for having spent just like a couple minutes on him. And that's why it's awesome to duplicate. All right, so duplicate that when I receive, so instead of flowers, when I receive pizza store, I hide, because he does not belong in the pizza store. Okay, there he is. There he is, running up, left, down. Terrific. All right, step 20. Let's go ahead and code some candy hearts to make this more into a job for him. So let's go ahead and go to choose a sprite. And in the search bar, let's type candy, and there's our heart candy. And then let's go ahead and go into the costume, because I need to change this costume. So instead of it just saying code it and being in these light colors, I want to change them to my own colors that I like better, and I'm going to get rid of that code it. So I made the heart smaller so it's easy, or so it's harder to grab. We don't want the job to be too easy. And let's just go ahead and delete the rest of these other hearts. They're too big. Now, let's go ahead and duplicate this candy heart and give it a different color, just to make the game a little bit more of our own. That color is fine. I like to keep these colors nice and light. And let's get like maybe a little purple. And then duplicate the purple heart. Maybe a little pink. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add some code to our hearts. So when green flag is clicked, we're going to hide, because we're only going to show the hearts when we receive the Candyland message or we're in the candy shop. Okay, so when we receive Candyland message, we show our hearts, candy hearts. Let's duplicate. When we receive the flower message, we hide, and I'll just go through those other hides. Now, when we receive Candyland, let's do a forever loop and wait 0.2 seconds. Then we'll switch costumes, so he's always turning different costume colors. Now let's make him move a little bit. And let's wait another 0.2 seconds. And then we'll make him move. Jump to random position. Okie dokie. And that's just like the bread. So let's click Candy Store. The sprite takes us to this cool background. The heart is working. Awesome. All right, let's go back into our Candy Store guy. And let's do a couple of things here. Let's start him off in a position to the bottom left. So whatever coordinates you have on the bottom left, let's go ahead and start the game there. So I'm going to put under when I receive Candyland show and then go to X at those coordinates. 180 and minus 100. Now, let's go ahead and change this in our when I receive Candyland in my forever loop. If I'm touching the heart candy, then make money goes up by 2. Okay, now let's go ahead and duplicate that pink heart, those little cute hearts, and let's go into the costume. This is going to be let's turn this into the bad guy of the Candyland store. All right, so let's get rid of the all but one costume of the heart, and we're going to call this a bad heart. It's a bad candy. Let's turn it a rotten color candy, dark, and maybe like a dark red. Okay. So this bad heart has some code already with it. So let's speed it up. Instead of 0.2, let's make it 0.1. Go to Candy Store. Now it's flipping all over the place. Okay, good. There it is. Boop, 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 boop. All over. Okay, now let's go back into the Candy Store guy code. And when we touch that bad heart, let's do -2. Now let's play a little bit, see if I can make this score go up and down. Seems to be working. Good, good, good. Okay, now let's do a little bit of a say on each of these. So when we touch the bad candy heart, let's say, oh no, for 2 seconds. And we touch the good candy heart, let's say, yummy, for 2 seconds. Okay. Let's try it out. Yummy, yummy. Oh no. All right, step 21, let's make the pizza shop guy. So we're doing the exact same thing with the pizza shop guy that we did with the candy store. So let's just duplicate that candy store guy. Go ahead and rename him pizza shop guy. Now, go ahead and color him differently. I did brown hair and a yellow suit. And I make all my rights, and then I make all my lefts. And I make sure that they're grouped together. It's just easier to code them that way. Okay, and I'm just using my eyedropper tool so I get the colors exactly the same from costume to costume, just so he looks as good as he can. Good, and I love the coloring process. It's super easy, super fun, and then that way they all look exactly the same. Almost done. Okay, and we only have a couple more things to do in this game before it's done. Okay, let's keep coloring, and there's the brown, and one more guy to go. Brown, yellow, whoops, yellow, yellow. Okay, awesome. All right, let's code the pizza shop guy. So we just have to make a couple of changes, and then his code will be good. So when we receive pizza shop, we're going to show. Good. And if you haven't made the pizza shop broadcast message, just go ahead and make it. And then we show when we have the backdrop to pizza shop. And we hide it when it's green flag click, and we hide it when it's flowers, and we hide it when it's Candyland, and we hide him when we're in the home backdrop. So there's all kinds of hiding to do with these. Candy store. All right, make sure his costumes are correct, which they all should be because the candy store was correct. So the flower so that this guy copied it, so he should be correct. All right, go ahead and change that broadcast message to pizza store. And broadcast message to pizza store. Now, what we're going to do is instead of touching candy heart or heart candy, we're going to get rid of that because we're going to be doing some bread. So these can just be placeholders for a minute. We're going to change this by 1 and -1 because the pizza shop should be the easiest because the bread isn't super small. All right, so let's go ahead and make the pizza shop breads, and then we'll finish the rest of the code on the pizza shop guy. So go into, choose a sprite, and then in the search bar type in bread. And there's a little loaf of bread. Fabulous. Okay, and that's just the right size. You can adjust the size if you want. Okay, when we receive the pizza shop broadcast message, then what do? Then we do our forever loop. Then we do wait 0.2 seconds. And next costume, although I'm not sure I'm going to do another costume for bread. I might just leave that one costume, but maybe you can do a different costume and flip it around. Okay, and wait 0.2 seconds, and then go to random position. All right, let's go to home, go to pizza shop, and there's the bread, and it's flipping all over the place. Yay! Or it's jumping all over the place, I should say. And there's our pizza shop guy, and he can go up and down and right and left. Fabulous, it's working. All right, let's hit stop. Now, let's go into our black heart for a minute. Something's showing. Oh, okay. Let's drag some of these show and hides into our bread. Because we're going to need the same things in our bread. We only want the bread to be seen inside the pizza shop. That makes sense, right? Let me rearrange this code nicer, and let's go ahead and do some duplicates of this. So when I receive pizza shop, I show my bread. Duplicate. When I receive candy store, I don't want my bread to show in the candy store. Okay, doesn't look like it's there. Good. All right, let's go back into the candy store, the pizza shop guy. So let's go ahead and adjust this. So if I receive my pizza shop broadcast message, forever I'm in a loop. If I touch the bread, then my money goes up by 1, and I wait 0.1 seconds. Okay, and I'm also going to go to say yes. And I'll duplicate that bread and go into costume. And this is, I'm going to make a green bread because this is the yucky bread. You don't want to touch this bread. So let's make that green all over. And let's wait 0.1 second and 0.1 second in our green bread. And let's get rid of that next costume. And let's just, so it's just going to wait 0.1 second, then it's just going to go to random position all over. And we're going to say yes when we catch the brown bread. And then when we touch the green bread or the bad bread, whatever we want to call it, let's call it bad bread. Then it's going to be -1. All right, step 24, let's make the play the lotto button. So this is our 4th button that we're making. So let's go into paint in our backdrop, and let's just make a plain white background that says lottery. Now let's go into choose a sprite, and I typed in the description button, and I got this little green button, and I just added the text play the lotto. Now for the code, let's go into when we receive lotto show. Actually, when we receive home show. And then when this sprite is clicked, switch backdrop to lottery. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and add when green flag is clicked. Show, because we always want the lotto button to show. It's sort of like the home button. Step 25, make the click me button to play the lotto. Yay! Okay, this is that big rectangle that I made that you might have seen earlier. So we want sort of a light yellow and a light green rectangle, one inside the other. So there's rectangle 1. There's rectangle 2, and I'll just put that to the background. And then let's go ahead and type click me, and let's make it a little bit bigger. And then let's go ahead and type $1 scratch off ticket, 1 in 10 chances. Winning. You don't have to do 1 in 10. You can do 1 in 20, you can do 1 in 100, you can do 1 in 5. All right, let's create some new variables. So new variable name, winning number. And this is inside that click me sprite that we just made. And new variable name, your number, guess. And we don't have to leave those out there. We can for now. Okay, so broadcast new message, number. And let's make another broadcast message, new. Message 1, message I won. And then let's duplicate that. And this can be message lost or message I lost. Message I lost. Okay, so number, I won, I lost. 3 different new broadcast messages. All right, let's create a new backdrop that says won. And let's just make this green. Do you remember this from the beginning of the video? A big green backdrop. And we're going to add some text just to let the people know that they won the lotto. They guessed the correct number from 1 to 10. All right, so at the bottom, let's put some text in black. We're almost done. Congratulations. You won. Click me to play again. Awesome. Okay, and let's duplicate that backdrop and let's make it red. Except let's not go ahead and say congratulations, because this is what they get when they lost. So instead of congratulations, we're going to put sorry. You lost. Click me to play again, because they can certainly play again. And move that over a little bit. Now, in the click me code, we have our new broadcast messages, we have some hides, and we have a show. So when this sprite is clicked, if make money is less than 0, or is less than 1, and it can be equal to 0 or less than 0 too. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. Say You must make money to play the lotto. Else, choose a number from 1 to 10. Between 1 and 10. That's better wording. Between, I like that better. So when this sprite is clicked, if your money is less than 1, you can't play. Else, you're telling the person to choose a number between 1 and 10. Then you're going to say join. I bet you know what we're going to do. Answer by, this is your guess. You can leave a little blank too so it's not all crowded. Is your guess. So if I type 2, it will say my answer is your guess for 2 seconds. It's just a little, makes it more interactive so that people know that something's happening. Okay, then we set your number guess to, you guessed it, the answer. And something's going to happen if it's right or wrong. It's so simple. Then broadcast number, the message, or new message, number. We already did that one. So broadcast number. We're not going to do too much with the broadcast number right here, but you could do like a high score. Set winning number. So it's good to have that in there. 2. Pick random 1 to 10. So that's where the code is picking a number for us. And then pick an if then else statement. If winning number equals your number guess, then change make money by 1. Yay! And if not, change winning number by -1. And also, let's go ahead and add in there our broadcast message, I won, and then a broadcast message, I lost. Super simple. Now, what happens when you win and lose? So, if the broadcast message says I lost, then I want to switch backdrops to the lost backdrop, which is that red one. And then if the message says I won, then I want to switch the backdrop to 1, which is the green backdrop. I just have 1, 0, and 1, 2. I didn't switch the names. Okay, so let's try it out. Click me, pick a number between 1 and 10, and I chose it, and I lost. All right, awesome, almost done. Now, step 26, let's make some background music. I suggest different background music for every store. So all you do, go to freesounds.org, download some music, then go into your store. So I'm in my flower shop, and I go to sounds, upload a sound, and it's importing. And I always rename it because it comes out with this crazy sound. So flower shop background music, or background. And then we just have to code it. Okay, that sounds good. You guys can't hear it, but it sounds good on my end. Now, when I receive the message flowers, forever. Play my song. Okay, so let's test it out. Go to my flower store. Got you. Good, and there's my lotto button, there's my make money, there's my home button. Awesome. And my score is changing. Terrific. Got you. Got you. All right, step 27. This is our last step. Less than a minute to go. Let's make some directions on our home page. So go to our home page and write, where would you like to work? Question mark. Pizza shop, easiest, $1 per bread. Candy store, harder, $2 per candy heart. Flower store, hardest, $3 per bug. You're done. Congratulations. All right, let's go ahead and show that text just on the home page and hide it everywhere else. And you know how to do this because you've done this with all the different sprites. It's just a game of